What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some r/am I the butthole? And if you'd like to skip that initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along a timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. Not only because I want that YouTube plaque, but because it really helps out the channel in general. So thank you so much, and let's crack on straight away with today's stories. Much love, guys. Now, our first story comes from Am I the Arsehole Trust Fundee? Am I the arsehole for cutting a family member off from a trust fund? Obligatory throwaway so people don't find my real account, and I'm on mobile. 2 years ago, I won a considerable sum in the lottery. Not a scratch off, the real lottery, to the tune of many millions of dollars. My state does not allow anonymity, and I have many relatives who are less than financially responsible. I knew if I didn't do something, I'd spend the rest of my life being badgered, so I set up a trust fund for my extended family with a good chunk. How it works is the family has an emergency. They call the trustee and ask for funds, and they assess the need and gives them the money if it meets the terms set in the trust. It's to be used in situations like someone being behind in bills, medical debt, unexpected car repairs, etc. Is to help them get through tough times or major life events, not for vacations or luxury purchases. One of my cousins, let's call him Dale, applied for $75,000 for a brand new loaded pickup truck. He was denied. This was neither an emergency nor was it necessary, as he had a perfectly fine vehicle. They offered $5,000 to help with down payment and taxes, and he accepted and bought the truck. This was 6 months ago. The trustee brought to my attention today that Dale has never made a payment of his own for the truck. He waits 2 months until he's behind and then applies for help. The first 2 times they gave him the benefit of the doubt, but now it's happened a third, they're rightfully suspicious. I told them to advise Dale that he can no longer get assistance for his truck payment and to get him some information on how to return it if he cannot afford it, and that we would help, within reason, get him a much cheaper vehicle that he could afford. Well, this morning his sister Jessie sent me a screenshot of a post he made on Facebook, basically bashing me, calling me a selfish prick, and ending with stating he can't wait until I die so he can inherit millions. Not sure why he thinks that. Most of the money will go to my parents and then the trust, along with a few charities, and dance on my grave. I've decided to revoke Dale's access to the trust completely. I don't feel comfortable subsidizing the lifestyle of someone who is actively hoping for my death. Jessie feels bad now for sharing the post and is asking me to reconsider. Dale is fuming, and my aunt has said some choice words, leading me to wonder if I'm an arsehole. Dale's father agrees with my decision, but many of our family is split. What do you think? Hell no, you're not the arsehole. Someone was wishing for your death and said that they'd dance on your grave and all this kind of crap. I'd cut them off too. Why would you give your money to someone that wishes your death? And I know you've been so generous to begin with, and I know it was only because, you wanted to avoid all the hassle and all that kind of thing, but that was incredibly generous to set up that trust fund. Imagine being a part of that trust and having the security knowing, if you was to fall behind into debt with something that's, with COVID and stuff like that, it happens. You've got the security of knowing that you can go to this trust and apply for money. And that is absolutely amazing. And they even offered $5,000 for a down payment on a car, which I consider a luxury in itself, but he still got it. Oh man, if many people would love to be in that position and you're not the arsehole, maybe it'll make him reflect on his shitty life choices and maybe come back to you at some point and hopefully change, but we don't know. Let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. With 2 Cent Psychologist who says not the arsehole. My suggestions: 1. Revoke Dale access to the trust. If you want to give him a chance to mend his ways, make it for 5 years conditioned on Dale improving as a human being. 2. Tell all of the family your decision. Remind them that it's your money and nobody is entitled to it. That the trust was set up as you care about your family's well-being. But it's not so that any one member abuse it, as it's not fair to all the others. 3. If you want, clarify the information about the will as well. And the trust will not suddenly be a big infusion of cash upon your death. 4. Finally let everyone know that the rule apply equally to all, and that anyone who agrees with Dale is equally able to notify the trustee or you to not want access to the trust anymore. P.S. You were very generous and smart in setting up the trust. Keep trusting, pun intended, your instincts. Chris Cat says, not the arsehole, it is your money, and while the trust was mainly done to avoid their badgering, it was still a generous act as they never had any right to the money to begin with. You allowed them access for emergencies and Dale tried to take advantage of it and you. And even if he still would have been allowed to use it if he didn't go on social media and post hate, it's his own fault. Facebook is not private, he ran the risk of you seeing it, and if he can't understand that action have consequences, he shouldn't have access to your money. Especially if he is clearly waiting for you to die to get said money. The aunt clearly doesn't understand that access to your money is not a given, even if you are family. Dale was acting entitled and broadcasted it to the world. I would have cut him off after finding out he was trying to cheat the system personally. You have no reason to feel bad for not wanting to share with someone so hateful. The only person at fault here is Dale. If he didn't openly wish for your death on Facebook, which was just plain stupid and spiteful, then he would have still been able to use the trust for emergencies. Now he has to do what everyone else does and figure it out on his own. And we'll have one more from JK Cincinnati who says, not the arsehole, it's your money and you were generous enough to put some in the trust for family. He took advantage and you cut him off. He's the total arsehole thinking you would buy him a $75,000 truck. Cut him off for sure. Edited to add, he's technically stealing from your family and everyone in the trust who may really need that money in the future. Absolutely great point at the end there. But the edit says, thank you all for your words. I know it's hard to understand why you even set this trust up to begin with, but I grew up as an only child, so I've been extremely close with my cousins and consider their children my nieces and nephews, and them to be the closest thing I've had to brothers and sisters. So I don't want to see them struggle in life if I know I can prevent it without setting myself on fire. But I also am not the most objective person when it comes to them, so I created the trust and appointed a trustee to make the hard level-headed decisions. Dale is the first one to even attempt to take advantage. The others have requested funds during the pandemic to help with the necessities like mortgage payments and food, and so far 2 of my nieces were given some money to help with school. The fact that he tried scamming and taking advantage of something meant to help the whole family hurt worse than the Facebook post, honestly. Now, what do you guys make of this one? I think everyone's incredibly lucky to be in the positions they are, and Dale was absolutely taking the piss. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll move on to the next one. And our next story comes from Cow Dick Fart. Am I the arsehole for not paying for my date's food after she ditched me? I left her contact info so they can go after her. I hooked up with a girl I met at a bar, and we arranged a date for a week later. She suggested some expensive fancy new restaurant that just opened up. I warned her I only had enough for my own meal. She said it was fine. I got a steak that was like $35 and a few drinks. She spent $169 on expensive drinks, desserts, caviar and other stuff. She went to the bathroom and never came back. I saw her through the window get into a car. Uber, after around 5 minutes. I called her and she didn't pick up. Later saw I was blocked on all social media. I only had $50 on me. I left that and a note explaining what happened and left her a business card, all her social media handles and her personal phone number. The next day she went apeshit saying I'm a horrible person and I'm just salty she's not interested. How I'm a weak man who can't pay, blah blah blah, before blocking me. She also blamed me since she got fired since they contacted her work numbers. A lot of people are saying I took this too far and I should have just paid. Edit, I didn't stiff the waiters, the drinks were a few dollars so I gave like a $12 tip, so around 31% tip. I don't remember the exact prices, but I know for a fact I more than paid for my stuff. Now I think you was pretty upfront in this one and said, look, you could only pay for yourself, and it was absolutely true. What else was you meant to do? So it's going to be a not the arsehole just from that standpoint. And I always find it interesting that people have the audacity to just walk out of dates like that without actually telling the other person first. I just couldn't do that on my conscience, you know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with ending a date early, but telling the other person is the least bit of courtesy you could offer someone, and just say, look, I don't think it's going to work between us. The date isn't working, so I'm going to go. Here's my half of the money. I'm out of here. But this person was clearly trying to stiff you in this situation, ordering all this expensive stuff and then just bailing, and you watch them go out in the car. So you're not the arsehole. And I'm not sure what else you could have done. I mean, if you did hang around and the staff there stopped you, I'd expect they'd want the money out of you somehow, even though you didn't have it. So I think you did the best you could in that situation, really. But let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. With Cerebrus the Hunter saying, not the arsehole. Well. If it isn't the consequences of my actions. Libtart says, not the arsehole lol. She tried to dine and dash and you're like, here's her cell, work, Insta, Facebook and TikTok. That's a riot. Good job, man. Apprehensive Fan says, not the arsehole. She played stupid games, she won stupid prizes and serves her right. Haven't heard that one in a while recently. Maleficent Ad says, good for you, though I'm surprised that the restaurant let you go without paying the whole thing. I've never been dined and dashed, so would like other commenters say whether or not that's how restaurants handle this. And Malachite Macchiato saying, not the arsehole. You only had $50. What were you supposed to pay with? It's obvious she did a version of Dine and Dash, but she thought you would get stuck with the bill, but you refused to be taken advantage of, and she got the consequences of her actions. And Royally Oaky says, not the arsehole, revenge is a dish best served cold, unlike your steak. This was well done. Now we'll end it on this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and let's move on over. And our next story is from SCM Glove. Would I be the arsehole if I helped my daughter run away from her mother? My daughter Jane is 18. She has goals and dreams. She has a job. She has a good plan for her future. She's also phenomenally unhappy at her home and I feel terrible for her. The abuse is all emotional and manipulative and she's treated like a free babysitter to her brothers aged 12 and 10. Additionally, her mother will not allow her to expand her role at work, which means she's been passed up for promotion. She's in charge of cooking, cleaning, making sure the boys do chores and homework, feeding, walking and bathing pets, cats, dogs, chickens, and many other things. She's expected to work and go to college while running the house because mum is absent and the boys need to be cared for. Jane is beyond unhappy. My solution is easy. Come live with dad. She can work all the hours and work towards her goals for her future and work on her happiness. Seems easy. Well, her mother doesn't approve, and the reason I think I'm being the arsehole is because I literally could not care less about what her mother thinks. I'm just done giving a shit about that woman's opinion. I divorced her 12 years ago and don't owe her shit. Does that really make me an arsehole? I feel like helping my daughter in a meaningful way overrides how much of an arsehole I'd be to essentially helping Jane run away. Is there a way I could do this that would salvage relationships and potentially be better for Jane? I want to teach her right from wrong, but I also want to teach her that she is worth more than she's being treated. Edit, I rewrote my post because I was informed the other one was removed due to being too long, and edit 2, sent some comments asking about the boys. They aren't mine and their dad lives there too. Both he and my ex work 12 plus hours a day. Now, I'm not sure if I'm wrong in this one because obviously ages in the US and different states and all that kind of thing, I always get confused, but 18 is considered an adult, right? So she can actually do what she wants, she can move out if she chooses to. So surely just put this in her court and she can make that choice. Maybe she's feeling guilty from it and doesn't want to make that decision without a bit of conversation first, but I think that would be the right decision for her. She can't be treated like a babysitter when she's trying to, make her life better for herself. This is the time to be doing it, especially when she really wants to. Mum needs to realise the damage she's doing to her own daughter right now by not letting her, experience life in the way that she wants to. That's really good for her. This can't be good for her mental health in any shape or form. So absolutely not the arsehole to me. But at the same time, if I am right about the whole 18 thing, she isn't running away, she's just getting out of the situation. But Chairmanka93 says, not the arsehole, if she's 18, isn't it moving out, not running away? That's what I said. OP replies, I mean, yes, you're right. I think it feels like running away to her because she isn't solving any of the problems. She's simply removing herself from the problems. But the problems are the mother's problems, not OP's. Not the daughter's, I mean. But Snoo says, not the arseholes, Jane is 18. She can decide for herself if she wants to continue playing housekeeper, nanny, pet sitter, maid, and chef for her mother. Also, Jane, as an adult, can't run away. She is leaving voluntarily, moving out, and she should. She'll be stuck forever if you don't help her place firm boundaries with her mother, who needs to step up and raise her own kids and care for her own home. Invite Jane to stay. Your ex-wife may not like it, but because it's an inconvenience to her. But this is about Jane and her happiness, not your ex's. And your ex as a big girl can figure her own life out, but Jane needs to be able to figure hers out too. She can't do that playing Mummy 2.0 to her kids. And Goodnight Frog says, not the arsehole, your daughter is 18. She isn't running away, she is leaving a bad household situation as an adult to pursue her goals as an adult. While I sympathise that your ex-wife probably is in need of affordable childcare, forcing her oldest daughter to forego her dreams isn't a fair solution. With that said, your daughter can state her intent to move out to her mother, therefore giving her time to find childcare. However, if there is manipulative behaviours from her mother, I would suspect she might meet with some objections and difficulties. I'd make your daughter the offer, let her make the decision and support her, / deal with your ex-wife's wrath. But if she decides to move out, I'd make a plan with her on how she is getting her stuff out, gathering important documents, making sure she has these things packed before she tells her mum. Now, what do you guys make of this one? What do you think OP and daughter should be doing? Is there an alternative to this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and we'll move on to another story. And our next story is from Mad About. Am I the arsehole for telling my sister her bad choice to have a kid with a deadbeat dad isn't my fault? I, 25 male, don't think what I said is bad, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. My sister, 26 female, met her boyfriend D 2 years ago. He's also 26, and let me just say, dude is a loser. He has 5 kids with 2 other women he doesn't see, and since we've known him, he's been between jobs. My parents don't like him because my stepdad loaned him close to 2k and never got repaid. My sister, being the genius that she is, decided she wanted to have a baby with him while she was going to college because he promised to take care of her. It wasn't like this was a surprise pregnancy. She made a choice to actually have a kid with the guy. Everyone in my family practically screamed no, but she went ahead and got pregnant. Now she's all surprised Pikachu face when he broke up with her a month after my nephew was born, and he tells her he doesn't have the money to help with the baby. My nephew is a year old. My sister is living in a studio and working full time. No school either. A few times she asked my parents for money. Thanks to my mum, she heard my biological dad died. Guy was very wealthy, so each of my half siblings got a large amount of money. I haven't touched any of it because I don't want to go crazy, so plan was to get in touch with a financial advisor. Point is, I'm not using that money for shit, and my sister is pissed at me because I'm refusing to give her anything to help. She's not my biological dad's daughter, by the way, so that's why she didn't get a cut. Last time we fought, she told me she's struggling here, and I'm being a shitty brother, so help her out. Then I reminded her she made the bad choice to be a mum with a deadbeat who wasn't going to help her. We all told her she'd be stupid to have a kid right now while in the middle of school with no career, and especially with a guy like him. And it's not my fault she made this dumb decision. She goes complaining to my parents about it. Now my mum is getting mad at me for telling her that because it's not my place to say something about her choices. I don't see how it was wrong pointing out a fact when she was getting mad at me for not helping her, like it's my fault she's a single mum now. So I guess telling her that made me an arsehole, but am I? And we're going to start straight away with Love giving advice, who says, might get roasted for this but not the arsehole. Was it kind? Not particularly, but she went after you like you're an arsehole for not helping her out. But sister made her poor choices, and now she has to deal with them. I would hope your whole family ensures the kid never goes hungry, but I don't know that I would do a lot more than that financially. Harles Bronson says, not the arsehole. I was coming to say otherwise, but if you chose to have a child with someone who has 5 kids he is not involved with, why would you think you'd be any different? Women do not have sex with a man who does not care for his children under any circumstances. Misha says, not the arsehole. Actions have consequences, and she made her bed. My ex turned out to be a deadbeat, and hard work made me okay. I didn't have to mooch, beg, or grovel. After my daughter was born, I earned 2 college degrees, and I'm working on my 3rd. I developed a strong professional reputation, and have garnered me a great high-paying job. I did all that as a single mum. So tell your sister she can make amazing lemonade, but she has to work twice as hard because she is doing it for 2. As for your money, do not lend it to anyone. Start your refinement savings with that. And one more from .NET developer dude, who says, not the arsehole. She's trying to use you for money because she made poor decisions. You simply pointed out that it's not your fault and declined to offer assistance. On another note, your money becomes less valuable every day. If you aren't investing in it, you're basically burning it slowly. I don't know how much it is, but you need to use that money to make more money, and you're just throwing it away. Now, what do you guys make of this story and today's collection of stories? What are your verdicts on them if you choose to share them? Never any pressure. A huge thank you for spending 20 minutes or so with me today and getting involved in the channel. You know, liking, subscribing, commenting, it all really helps out, and I'm ever so thankful for what you do. Thank you so much for your love, support and time, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.